Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Ark Building Evolved with me, UTC. Welcome back. This is our castle from the last episode, and I promised in today's episode we were going to take on a project that I regret promising to take on. I'm starting to fall in love with it. I'm starting to think that this color scheme is going to work. It's going to be different enough from this whole city. A white and blue castle might not have been, if that had been a true option for us. But I think as I continue this, as we build up the other side, and I've been working on building up the far side of the canal a little bit. That'll be an ongoing project, mostly off camera. But I think the castle will eventually be on that side. I'll get in here with dynamic again, and we'll work out a gateway. And I think what'll happen is these canal roads will go straight into a pair of castle gates, and you'll have gateways that work for roads, and then maybe over the water you'll have an additional gateway. I have yet to play with the gates from this mod, but I got my feet wet. I got a taste of what building with this is like, and I actually have this guy here. His whole job, just hold on to all the crap. And that's not even the beginning of all the crap. But that cleared my inventory a bit, which is never an issue. It's not an issue with creative mode due to weight, but it's an issue just clogging up your dang inventory. It's crazy. So let's talk about today's project, and I have a request for you guys. A lot of you are really creative. A lot of you are really brilliant builders. Here's a request. Click the like button. I should ask that at the beginning. It's always good on this series. People crush it. I have extended the canal. But my request for today is hit me up on Twitter, at UniteTheClans, and help me figure out a way to do this that isn't going to look terrible. You see the beginnings down there, straight ahead of us at the end of that dock of a crane. Now I'm going to attempt two in today's video, one using just Structures Plus and Vanilla, and then one using whatever mods I have at my disposal. So, this is the beginning of the one that uses S Plus stuff. And what we have here are inside-out railings, basically, like so. And they can be switched to half walls. And I've tried to design a little something. These are the S Plus stone double door frames here, forming these little skinny pillars on the corners. And then up above, we can fly. I have been trying to lay out a little something. I'm looking at pictures of medieval cranes, and it is stressing me out trying to think of how I'm going to do this. Because what I need is a diagonal, and there is only one way to really do it with this game. And let's go ahead and turn on the HUD. We have this, and then there is this. This is called a dynamic pillar. Now, I think I gotta remove this one in order to see it properly, but the dynamic pillars hide support material. What's that mean? Oh, okay. Show support material. Interesting. Okay, pillar options. So what you have here, thickness, update, boom. Oh, get out. You can make them fatter. Right? You also have length and angles, but the angles seem to only go down. So let's go ahead and do a normal thickness pillar. Let's take the length up to, what can it do? 12.5, update, boom. Okay, so that's not even obvious, but that's going to go way, way, way down. Now we'll make it obvious right here by doing this. And this was my first attempt at this, but if you go X 90, Y 90, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, so you end up with that. So a horizontal pillar. Now, this is an option. If I choose to do the crane horizontally, I don't think I'm going to use this. I think what I will do, man, those ship masts getting in the way. I think what I will do is instead try and build with some of the stuff you see on my hotbar, wooden ladders, railings, like so, and catwalks. And I think that would be the way to do it if we went horizontal. I would like to use this if we can, because if we could get this at a nice 45-degree angle up, that would be fantastic. But what that means is we need to figure out the end point. So let's do that. Let's break it. And we're going to need a regular pillar, which I just took off the hotbar, and we'll come back to these dynamic ones here in a second. These are the S Plus small ones, exactly one wall high, so they're good. So let's build up to here, and then let's assume that there is going to be some form of big chunky thing on top. And I wonder if we should get some triangle ceilings involved and do a slightly different shape so we don't have a big cube up here. Okay, so this is, you guys have noticed since the series has been back, good amount of off-camera building, and this is the reasoning for it, because it can be so challenging sometimes. Something like this, and then are we starting to get something that resembles a shape that we like here, guys? I think I'd have to flip that inside out, Let's see which direction that's facing. Switch to a half wall. Yeah. Okay, so then what we're going to do is take out this. Oh, and you got to be so careful because you are actually looking at a railing when you go to destroy things and not at a full wall. So you have to point somewhere where the railing, so if you're deleting that, you got to point at a bit of it that would typically be deleted with a railing. And then here, let's go with this. And then these should all be at the same height. We should be able to slap a ceiling on top. You know, I've had another idea. Too many ideas. And let's get the... You know what? To get these boards to face the right way, sometimes you gotta do that. Lag. But that works. And then these boards aren't facing the right way for old UTC. So, Okay, so the way that you would fix that is this. You would put a ceiling temporarily in the middle here. Let's take the one on top off. And we'll make sure we get the boards facing the way we want on this one. The snap point exists, you just got to find it. Okay? Or maybe it doesn't. You know what? No one's going to see the top of this anyway, guys. It's pointless. Let's just do a little backup job and see if this looks like maybe what you would have on top of a crane. The vanilla version is probably I'm going to have to bail on or get somebody to come and do what they think. I think that could work. If you had a diagonal pillar sort of coming on an angle out of this, and then the extension of it coming back down here. And this whole chunk on the back, it may be too much. Like, we may want to take out this, and this, and then that's the crane bit on top. But here's the thing. This pillar needs to be anchored to something, and it cannot stay in the air when you break the thing it's anchored to. So that means we're going to need to use this, which I have not used at all in this build. Select model, no sides. And now you have an invisible wall. That is from Structures Plus. I get that some of you don't have that, but at this point in the game, I have shown you a lot of what you can do with vanilla building pieces. So let's leave the sides on it for now. That's something we can go ahead and remove later. We'll go ahead and go up one more, and we're going to extend out like this until we find where we think the end of the crane should be. And we don't need foundation support, obviously. One more, I think. And let's go out here. Aha. Okay, and now let's grab that dynamic pillar. And that should snap to the bottom of this. Okay, so now we find the angles, which this could be very difficult, guys. Well, 90 and 45? 49? Let's try that. Okay, so that's not right. This one needs to be closer to the 45. Update ya. And this, we need to go and find whichever one points backwards. Which might be... Okay, the opposite of that, which would be here? No. Would be here. Good lord. It might not be frickin' possible to get the angle I want. Let me play with this for a minute, guys, and see if I can get it. I may have done it. Let's try the extension of this. Pillar options. And can it go narrower? It can go down to 0.1. What does that frickin' look like? Oh, that's freaky. Oh, that is weird. A half a pillar. Okay, I don't think you're going to want to go less than 0.8 or 0.7 because that's going to start to look real weird on you. Yeah, even right around there. So let's try to find a 0.85, and let's take this length and run it out to like 10 or 12. And almost. Okay, so we are going to use the full extension of this, it seems like. Pillar options, let's go to the 12.5. Right? And then let's fine-tune this. Pillar options. No, totally wrong. Whatever we just did was bad. Okay, a little bit higher. This is giving me height. Okay, that's about perfect. And then this, maybe 0. Right on? Ooh, very close. Okay, so 0 is probably the number. Can I click here? Yes, I can. Let's go here. 0, 0. Update. Okay. Okay. I think that's really the only fricked up way to do it. It's a little bit too long as it stands now. So let's go ahead and extend it. What? Pillar options. It's not working for me. Okay. So let's bring it to like an 11.5 update. And let's thicken it right to a full pillar because that's a little bit weird seeing the skinny version. I think that's going to be the only way to do it. So what that means is that this ceiling has to be here. Nothing else has to be here. So if we change transparency, that's not it. If we go model selector and we go no sides, then as far as I understand it, and yes, I understand it, this can come out. Oh, come on! All right, well, I'll have to maybe go back and look at the screenshots to figure out how I got that pillar perfect. Maybe this whole getup needs to stay here. I wonder why. No, there's still a ceiling here. Why would one affect the other? There's no dynamic pillar here anymore, right? That's so interesting. All right. Well, I will get it back to the way it was, guys, and I will bring you back so we can take a look at what we've got. All right, guys. So you have seen me do this. I built up 1, 2, 3 and built out 7 with these invisible ceilings, and then these are the settings I needed to get these perfect. 71.78, basically 0. It's an important question now. If I destroy anything attached to this pillar, does it destroy it? Or did I just... No. No. But this one wrecked it. No. Okay, we're good. Okay, so that's what I thought should have happened last time. So now we're going to go with this one, model selector, no sides. And this will be out here. We can build off of it, but it won't be visible. And this, and this, as well as this invisible one. And I'm just going to pick this up just to make sure I don't mess anything up. Okay. So. That is really interesting. So it might be possible to do this the way I want, guys. Now, I probably should have gone one less ceiling out. One fewer ceilings out. Now, what about this? Now, what we would want is maybe to replace that ceiling with a... Well, is there a glass hatch frame? There is, right? So in creative mode, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Hatch a frame. And we're going to look for the glass, this thing. Now, in a perfect world, I can just take this and replace the ceiling with it. Right, it won't do it because of the same material. What if I do... Nothing's going to want to replace it as it stands right now. But a hatch frame would be perfect. Okay, so I might rebuild this, guys, with a hatch frame instead. I think I figured out 72, 0, and 11 and a bit. Once again, I'll step away from you. Oh. Okay, actually, you know what? As long as the second ceiling is there, it seems to be providing support. So that I can come back, I deleted that, add this. And then what this is going to give us, freedom-wise, is the ability to snap rope ladders right there. And I think that's going to be a game changer. When we start to plan out a crane, we can actually do both sides of this ladder. Now, that's going to look a little bit freaky. It's going to extend out a little. You know what we could do? Thinking out loud. Let's go ahead and choose it's not called a hatch, it's called a trapdoor. So I was watching some old episodes of my favorite YouTube series. From around the time this series started, I talk about building with BOO somewhat often. And interestingly enough, when he was building Escher, which was his desert city, giving me a lot of inspiration when the center map is done to eventually go do something desert. Okay, so that center bit stays, but that could work for us. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use a spray gun and try and get that to stand out a little bit less. Inventory, sprayer, olive spray paint. And you know what? If we search color, the gun and those come up. So let's go ahead and do brown. And let's go region. Okay. Region 2? No, 3 and 4. Nope, 4 and 5 now. Okay, and let's do this, and hopefully that will blend in pretty well. There might be another color that's better. Let's try something else. Let's try a little tan, perhaps. The brown is pretty darn dark on... Okay. No, not what I had in mind. All right. The trapdoor doesn't need to be there, so we can pick that up. Trapdoor demolish, and then we can start again. Inventory, and it should be right at the bottom down here. And those are vanilla ones, but I think that's the least obtrusive color we are going to get. And now this ceiling can go. Yes, it can. Okay, so this is something. Now, as you design a crane, guys, you can't just do this. This does not look right to anybody, and there is a reason for that, because it does not have a counterbalance. So, what if we try another dynamic pillar that can extend out the back? And I have those in my inventory here. Can it snap? Can one snap to the other? No, but I could do this. And then this one, if we give it the exact same directions and we go 71, something close, and length, whatever, 6 maybe, 5, update. Okay, so that snapped a different direction, and I wonder if that has to do with where I am looking. So that would mean we'd need to 45 that. No, we'd need to 90 degree it this way. Now where have you gone? How did you choose to do that? That makes no sense to me. Pillar options. Let's go here to a 60-something. Okay, you know what? Let's remove you. Let's pick you up. And I wonder if the direction I'm facing when I place the dynamic pillar has something to do with it. And sorry guys, I know it's a lot of going into my inventory. I was not sure what I was going to need for this chunk of the... Okay, come on, get this crap. I'm typing in chat like a fool. Okay, so I'm going to stand here. And now, if we go pillar options... $60, okay. And then how do we get this to rotate around this way? Okay, that, okay. Okay. So these take a lot of getting used to, guys. I'm not sure how I got so lucky as to find everything the first time through. Okay, now it looks like we're going to have to bring this one to 0. Over here and leave the other one at 70. Is that what we need? That's what we need. So interesting. The X and Y should be the same, but they don't seem to be. And then length, let's go to a 6. Update. Boom. 6 is too long. Okay. And we might need to do it from the top. So pillar options, let's go with like a 5 and a bit. 4 and a bit. Like so. I wonder if that's going to be right. Okay, so we finalize this hide support material. That's not bad. Now, this whole thing starts to get super complicated because cranes would have pulley systems on them at this point. And so if we did yet another dynamic pillar, like a fool, when it's already causing you so much trouble, why go back for more pain? And we did that right here. And then we did... Oh, this is not going to extend upwards, is it? Okay, so let's pick that. You know what? Let's just take this one and we'll extend it in a length of around 3 and a bit. Oh, that's only going to go downward. Right. Okay, so let's pick this up then. And we're going to need to do what we did before and go back to the glass. So I will keep you with me as we derp around with this, and then I'm going to go try and finish this up on an off-camera type setup. And... I think that's too high. I think what we'll do is this, remove that, and let's put the dynamics on the hotbar, please. I'm not going to use them catwalks nearly as much as this. The catwalks can go. I'm sure that's infuriating to watch. And then pillar options, let's extend this to like a 2.5, something like that, right? And now everything but, the thing it snapped to can go. So let's go ahead and move this, select model, and we'll go 0 sides. And then the one last thing we need is one that comes out on an angle like this. And what would happen is there would be a pulley at the far end of that. It would come and it would hit the top of this one. And then if we had one on an angle like this, it would hit the pulley on the top of that one, hit a pulley on the end of this one, and there would be a counterweight hanging down here that would allow you to raise and lower the crane more easily. So if we do what we already know how to do, and we build out like so, that is about the angle we need. So let's go ahead and wall in that back, just so that we have something to aim towards. And I wonder, do we do one more? No. Let's make this let's play with this, and let's hopefully make it work. Okay, pillar options, and I'm learning it, guys. So let's go length of a 4 is probably too much. Rotation. Yes, perfect. Almost there already. Okay. And oh, see, it goes brown because it's already connecting into something. So pillar options, and does that mean I could remove the thing on top because now it has an anchor on the bottom? That's about a 45. That's almost freaking perfect. All right, now it's starting to look a little silly because, you know what? I think I have an option, because these should not be as thick as the actual crane. So maybe we take thickness here down to that point. Hey, where did I say was still didn't look stupid? That? And we'll take this, pillar options, and we'll take you down to like a 0.82, 0.84, wherever I had it before, like that. And then maybe we beef up these ones to like just ever so slightly bigger. Okay, and you have to be closer to the middle or the end of the pillar. Doing it at the end seems to not pull the thing up. So I say we go to like a 1.2. That's a nice bit thicker. And I think this is going to keep this from just looking like a porcupine. If you have a couple of skinnier ones and a couple of fat ones, maybe a 1.4. Let's try that. Pillar options. Okay, go further up the arm. I'm happy that this is somewhat coming together. Pillar options, and we go with a 1 point. Something like this. Boom. Okay. Yeah, I think it's something. Okay, in pillar options, 1.4 or close to it. Like that, and let's take the length down a little bit more. Like that. Okay. All right, now let's go hide these. This one can go. This one can go invisible. And select model, no sides, and tell me what you think. Once again, we're flying around a lot, but I think it's for a project like this, it allows me to actually work it out on camera instead of leaving you. It's something. It is something. I think that top center one, we're going to make even skinnier. Maybe take that to like a 0.75. What's it on? 0.82. Let's go down there. And it needs to be the same height as this one off to the side, which it should be. Actually, I can't make them taller. I can only make them longer. So that is the same height despite the optical illusion. And this back one, we're going to make a little... Screw it. The only problem with the back one is it's obvious that... I wonder... Okay, so maybe we can get this top one to extend down into the lower one. This has gotten quite long already. Pillar options. God, that can't be how long I've been recording for. That says 33 minutes. This is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, we did it. We pretty much did it, guys. I just looked at my recording, and I have such an insane amount of time recorded. I have no idea how that's possible. I'm going to leave you now and do some editing, and maybe today will be the Vanilla Crane episode. If it's really this much recording, I'm going to save the modded one for another day, and we will have built that whole thing on camera. Why did I do that? What a nightmare. Okay, back in your life in a minute. Oh, baby, welcome back. All right, guys, we're not insanely deep into the episode. I was able to cut out a lot of nonsense, specifically building that sort of central chunk that everything is connected to. I really messed around with that for quite a while and recorded all of it, so that was easy to cut out, and the video will be totally smooth. You'll barely even notice, but I was able to leave in all the good bits, the bits that you really need to see as builders, and I think... I am impressed. At the beginning of today, I said, I regret ever promising to do this with you. I am so happy we did now. It turned out much better than I imagined. The dynamic pillars are a game changer, as I'm sure you can imagine. So take a look out there. Let's do a little fly job. I went and made a little platform off camera after bringing down those rope ladders. And it's made with an upside-down ceiling. I'll do a tips and tricks on that with catwalks all around. And that is the thing. And then we used the same technique we used in episode 40 on the docks to build them up with, you know what? One of these things has to go. That looks really weird. Storage box. Demolish. Something like that. To build this up with cargo, and I think it turned out great. Now, we are missing one very important thing, and it was the first comment I got upon sharing this with the group. Still share with me your Twitter ideas. If you've ever built anything like this, I Googled, and I didn't think anyone had ever built anything like this in Ark. If you have ideas, please share them with me, because this is a harbor town. It needs more docks. In fact, that's what this would have been if this episode wasn't so long already. But the one thing people said is it needs more of a counterbalance. Well, I have got that figured out in an ingenious way as well. All right, HUD on, and check this out. Ready? Hiding down here, I have built up with foundations, and I tried to line them up just about perfect with what we got here, and S+ foundations, stackable. So if you can find the right place, and it gets a little tricky the higher you get. So let's try removing a few more of these. And there is a spot, I promise you. I don't think I want to remove anything over there. That would break stuff, maybe. Oh, it shouldn't break anything. There it is. Gotcha. Yeah, every once in a while, one of these is impossibly tricky. Oh, come on. I already had it stacked up this high. We're in the middle of the outro. Stop messing with me. All right, guys. I cleared out everything around it in order to give myself the ability to stack, and I think height-wise, this is going to be just about perfect, and lineup-wise, it's just about perfect. So, this is one option. The other option, if it'll do it, I don't think it'll do it, is the castles and keeps one. No, it won't do it. So in a perfect world, I wanted the vanilla stone foundation here, so it didn't just look like this, which looks like a ceiling and walls, but I think that is going to work. So let's remove everything that isn't that, and this is going to look like a big old counterweight. Boom, boom, boom. Aha! I also moved the ships away, guys. There was a ship here and a ship on the other side. I wanted a nice clean look at it. Tell me that doesn't look great. Now, the one thing I wish I had was an alternative to this. I wish I had a way to run something that looked like rope across the top of this, but I can't think of anything. If you have any ideas, be sure to hit me up. And if you park a ship right under here, bam, does that look good? Guys, I am so happy. And I'm really thinking this turned out much better than I thought it would. So let's do a little backup and we'll see. One thing I like to say at the end of these episodes, if you haven't done it, click the like button. And if you're tuning in somewhere in the middle of this series, the description contains links to playlists. You want to make sure you watch the episodes in order, I'm sure, and YouTube is not good at doing that for you. So I will eventually have this linked to the next episode in the sequence, but click a playlist. Let YouTube do the work and tell you what to watch next instead of, or let me tell you what to watch next instead of listen to YouTube. That's what I'm saying. If you want more like this, guys, you got to dive into this series. I have been building now for 42 episodes, and I have bigger and better things in store as we go forward. Dang, I love that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Ark Building Evolved. I'm UTC, your boy, and I will be back in your life in the next episode.